Chief of Staff to President Muhammadu Buhari, Malam Abba Kyari, led a delegation of the federal government of Nigeria to hold a meeting with the executive team of CMS AG on Monday on a contract deal of electricity generation, transmission and distribution in Nigeria. National Daily gathered that Abba Kyari, accompanied by the Minister of Power, Engineer Saleh Maman, is currently in Munich, Germany, to meet the executive team of CMS AG. They were joined by the Nigerian ambassador to Germany, Ambassador Yusuf Tuga, at the meeting. A statement from the Office of the Minister of Power, assessed by National Daily, indicated that the Nigerian government recently signed a 6-year contract with the German company, which will result in the effective generation, transmission, and distribution of at least 25,000 megawatts of electricity by the year 2025. The CMS contract clearly puts the fate of the discourse in Nigeria hanging, particularly as President Buhari has appointed Performance Review Committee headed by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Accordingly, if the discourse will continue to exist, they will have to compete with CMS AG. The meeting was still going on at the time of this report. I hope it will come to pass if they are genuine about it. You know, very soon they are going to ask Baba Yabo, Obasanjo, where is the money? Where is the light? There is no money, there is no light. And don't forget that since this government came on board, they've spent a lot of money on this same electricity, and all to no avail. Nothing has come out of it. Nothing has come out of it, because they cannot tell us when they came in, they didn't make money, or they've not been making money. This is the 5th year. I don't know if we can really get that, because every year, every government always talk about this electricity. But at the end of the day, what do we get? Darkness. A statement was credited to Fashola, but Fashola at some point denied it, that he never said so, saying that a responsible government and a serious government would provide electricity within 6 months. But demand was there for 4 years. Nothing came out of it. We are still battling between 3,000 megawatts for a country of 200 million people. 200 million, over 200 million people. We are still battling with 3,000 megawatts, 2005. Tomorrow it will come back again to 1,000. And if you hear what we have spent, if you want to relate it with what other countries have spent, and they have 247 electricity, you will like, are we serious? Are they really quoting the right figures? Yes, those monies have gone out. They've spent those money on this electricity, and what have we been getting is darkness. Now Abba Kyari has led the team of delegates to Germany, and some people are asking, where is Osinbajo? Where is Osinbajo? I think Osinbajo is supposed to be the one to go for this program, because a lot of people are saying there is no program that they can pinpoint that Osinbajo is attending, that, you know, he shouldn't have even gone in the first place. But like what we are hearing now, that the president, as a President Buhari, has appointed Performance Review Committee headed by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Wow. Professor Yemi Osinbajo is the one that will be heading the committee. So, with that being said, but the most important thing now is that with all this project, with all this whatever, I think there was a time the president went to Russia. They talked about fighting the insurgencies, fighting this and that. The Russian government is going to come in to help us with whatever, what have you. Since then, we've not heard anything. I don't know if there's anybody who has heard about because at the time the president went to the US too, the same thing. They were to whether to US to provide to build a fighter jet for us. Up till now, whether it's going to be this year, they said they were going to produce it. That was about 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and people were like, so does it mean till that time what is the measure being put in place to curb this insecurity? people were asking questions. Some people are like, no, just wait. In no time the 2020 will come, or the 2020 or 2021. Thereabout. Up to now, we are not hearing anything about that, because as at that time we had a 8th assembly, which they complained that the presidency or the executive had to go ahead and not even informing the Senate as at that time. But some people are like, oh, is it not because of the security and what have you? Must they come and take permission because we need it as urgent as possible? And people are like, if we need it as urgent as possible, then why now it is what that time they wanted to start producing and it's going to take 3 years? So they would have finalized everything before even dipping money into the country's coffer. But that being said, up to today, the rate of insecurity is alarming, which we all are witnesses to. Now they went to US, we didn't hear anything. Again, they still went that, I think last year or so, the president again went to Russia. We have not heard anything. It's all about we are going to do this, we are going to do this, meeting upon meeting, but at the end of the day, we are not seeing anything on ground. The only thing that is thriving is the same corruption, the insecurity, and everything going in disarray. That is what is constant, and that is what has been going on, that we are experiencing day in, day out. Of course, if really all these things that they are talking about, if it's going to come to play and it's going to work at that time, at the end of the day, people will be happy, because in the past, they've done a lot of things, they've said a lot of things, they've gone for a lot of seminars, they go for international whatever and what have you, yet nothing. At the end of the day, money will be spent, money will be wasted. The same story every day. The same story. They will be spending money. They will be calling all manner of things. I could remember 10 years ago, they talked about the government of the day then talked about Vision 2020. Vision 2020. Hey, we didn't hear word. People are like, Vision 20, when is it going to come? When is it not going to come? Now we are in 2020. Even before 2020, everything scattered. That is why, when some people are talking, it will be as if they don't have faith, or they are just being negative. How can you be experiencing this kind of a thing for a very long time, and you still continue to do the same thing, and you say, oh, people are being negative? It is, how will I put it? The way things have been going consistently, the same pattern, and they always come in the same pattern, and at the end of the day, some people even predict it's going to end like this, and definitely it will end like that. So how do you expect them to be positive-minded? They will be positive-minded. Like now, if you hear this kind of a thing, oh, the way they have gone to Germany to negotiate all of these things, to put everything together, you'll be happy that yes, or even if you know that you are suffering now, or you are going through tough times, you know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. But in this case, you know that nothing is going to happen. It is going to be story at the end of the day. We could remember there was a time we were all jubilating. Oh, we're going to have a national career. They went to do to design the logo. How much? Almost billions. How many billions naira of naira did they spend? And after 1 month, and they just said they've cancelled it. Within how many months or how many days, everybody was rejoicing. Yes, we are going to have a national carrier now, this and this and that. Till today, everybody's expectation was so high. All of a sudden, they just canceled the whole thing, and they say nothing. And meanwhile, 2 billion naira has been wasted on designing the logo. So how do you expect people to be happy until something is being done? And they know that whatever they want to do, they will just do it, and they will get away with it. So the questions some people are asking are that, where is the president? Where is the vice president? I think vice president is supposed to be the one in charge of this meeting. But we know what has been happening. But let's hear what people are saying. Someone says President Abba Kyari in action representing Jubilee. President Abba Kyari. Another story. President Abba Kyari in action. Please, what happened to the Vice President Oshibaju for not representing Mr. President in this meeting that holds in Germany? Someone say, when last did you see him represent the president at a function? He has been sidelined since. Someone say, NEPA PHCN bill us for what use? Why disco came in? Even in darkness, they overbill us for what we did not give. What they did not give to us. Talk more of using armed robbers. That's what they are. Nigerians don't want them again. It was that the president promised that he will send disco away packing. These people are not serious. And the real president has taken over. Let disco pack and go. They have wasted our time over the years with empty and fake promises of giving Nigerians 24 hours power supply. Before the upgrade of technology, we were better than this. Now that the world is going digits, we are nowhere to be found. If we must run economy, we must digitalize, but no power to prove if Nigeria is among the league of countries who want to go global. The desire of few cannot be cloud that many Nigerians, as we are eager to see Simeon bringing power to Nigeria. Disco has failed and have no excuse to give for their poor service. Nigeria are suffering in their hands. That's what somebody is saying here. Someone said the structure of Nigeria is the problem, compounded by the headship. The system today must be stripped and reorganized to function. Else we will be same old merry-go-round, garbage in, garbage out. So guys, let us hear your opinion concerning this. Do you think there's going to be light at the end of the tunnel? Do you think it's the right decision or the right step in the right direction, the way they are going again, that we are not going to be hearing story? And someone says, I suggest the arrangement will be that the disco continue to service domestic and low-end consumers based on government-assisted subsidy, whereas the new arrangement with Siemens would focus on commercial and high-end users. So guys, let's hear your opinion. Leave your comments below and let's have your take. Thank you.